I'm gonna start crying on the first question. And she thinks that's so sweet, but all my friends make fun of me.
Okay, let me think for a minute. That's a tough question.
Me and Krysta first met in high school. We weren't really in the same group or crowd, but one of my good friends dated her, and I knew her because she was on dance team and I played sports.
And then we were several years into college, and totally out of the blue one day, I get this Facebook message, and it's from him. And I was like, this is a joke. I don't even know this person. And he just said, hey, how have you been? So I didn't really trust the situation at first. And we just started talking, and just a couple of days later, he asked me to go to dinner with him. And I still was kind of like, okay, this is a joke, like somebody's just messing with me, because I'd never been on like a blind date or anything. So I said yes, and I thought to myself, like, I know his mom, I know who she is, like, it's a safe situation.
Well, we had plans to go to dinner for our first date. It was like at 7 o'clock, and I'm getting ready to leave, and then the tornado sirens start going off, and we have a tornado coming to town, so I'm like, well, this is a great, first night to have a first date. It's pitch black outside, and we assumed it was going to be canceled, but it ended up being, a beautiful night. The sun came back out. We went to Copeland's restaurant, and most of you who know me, I'm a bigger guy and I love to eat, but I really wanted to impress her. I didn't want to show her, I'm a guy who is all about the food, so I ordered like these 3 small little finger dishes. And I ended up the whole time was starving the whole night. I didn't get to eat anything, but it was a great dinner, and I knew from that first night, I was like, all right, this is probably going to go somewhere. I was really excited about it, and I had a great time, and she looked gorgeous. Well, she'll say the first kiss came too late.
It took him forever to kiss me, and I thought, this guy's not interested. Like, we have been dating for so long and hanging out and stuff, and so it just kind of, I was starting to get the feeling like he just wanted to be friends, which was fine, but I was just not really sure of the situation.
She was somebody I wanted to really have, really get to know through time, so I wanted to take my time and go slow through the process. And now she tells me, I waited too long to give her her first kiss. It was, oh gosh, it was well over a month into getting to know her.
And we hung out at his apartment, and we watched a movie. And so he kind of like held my hand during the movie a little bit, but he was very like nonchalant about it. And so he was walking me out to my car, because I had to drive all the way back to Fayetteville to get back to my place. So he's walking me out, and he opens my door for me, and I thought, he's not gonna kiss me again. This is kind of crazy. And so at the last second, he kind of leans in and gives me a kiss, and it was really, really sweet, and it was worth the wait.
Some of the things we like to do together, well, we do everything together. We don't, I guess you could say we don't always like to do what the other one does, and I guess, that's one reason I love her so much. I'm huge into sports. I love sports. I love the Missouri Tigers. I love the St. Louis Cardinals. And she probably wishes I didn't love them as much as I do, but, she's been great about always coming up to games in Columbia, which isn't, a super short trip. She's always been good about going to St. Louis games with me and watching them on TV with me. And I try to be good about watching, Grey's Anatomy and Revenge, and I probably need to be a little bit better at it.
He loves watching movies, but they're not the kind of movies that I like, and he feels this strong need to educate me on movies that I missed from my childhood. And he's kind of this like movie connoisseur. So like every few movies that we see, then he'll like throw one in that he's like, you should have seen this when you were little. So we end up watching a lot of these old movies, and he loves that. He feels like he's educating me. So we do that together. We watch a lot of TV shows together, and it always ends up being a competition. Like, we watch Face Off, and we each pick like 3 people who we think are going to win, and so it's a competition all the way through the end of the season to see whose person makes it the furthest. And we kind of do that with all of our shows, even like the cooking competitions. probably the first time he took me to meet like his extended family. We came up to Missouri for the first time together. I thought, you know, this could be like the one. I could see myself with this family, and you know, we're just very compatible. We're not the same at all about most things, but it just works, and it's comfortable but exciting all at the same time.
She makes me, you know, the happiest guy alive. You know, every day when I see her, I think she's the most beautiful girl. I think she gets more beautiful every day that I see her.
I can't imagine my life without him. My mom and I were talking about this the other day, and I just said, I can't remember what it was like not to instantly call him and tell him what was going on, or get his opinion, or, you know, just tell him about whatever new happened.
About 10 months into our relationship, you know, I felt me and Krysta spent a lot of time together, and I felt, you know, like she was the one, and I was ready to ask her to marry me. The hardest part was getting the courage up to ask her dad. Her dad's a great guy, but he's a pretty intimidating guy.
We were going on this big trip to Destin with his family, and I kind of thought, well, he might do it then, because we had been talking about getting married and getting engaged and stuff for a while.
My aunt and uncle let me use their house down on the beach to propose to her, and it was a beautiful setup. We'd set up at their pool area, and I had my mom and my aunt and my grandma. They went down there to set everything up and get food set up for us under this like gazebo that they have around their pool.
And he hands me this gift. And so I'm opening it, and it's like one of those shirts that people always make when they go to Florida, and it's like the airbrushing, and it has like 2 hearts on it and says Kyle and Krysta, and it said Destin and stuff. And I was like, babe, this is so cute. This will be such a good keepsake, you know, we'll have to show our kids someday. And he's kind of laughing, and I look up, and he's down on one knee. Like, I totally hadn't seen him. And I'm just like, my jaw kind of hits the floor, and he's like shaking, and his voice is shaking, and it was just so sweet. And he just starts talking, and I'm just kind of in shock at the situation. And he was telling me how he couldn't imagine loving anyone more than he loved me, and he couldn't imagine a love greater than that. But that every single day when he woke up, he realized that he loved me more than he did the day before. And so every day it was kind of a new amazement that he could feel stronger about our relationship than he had before. And of course that had me. I mean, I was just I was just stunned, and I thought it was so sweet.
And I'm really looking forward to the future. Like I said, I know there's nobody in this world I'd rather spend the rest of my life with.